Alright, so I finally got my tablet back and I'm starting to work on a few things that I've been wanting to work on since it kind of locked itself for the past week and a half. Um, One of the things is continuing work on the creature designs, and it's not going to really go towards the card game. The designs will go to the card game eventually, but I'm focusing more on an encyclopedic type of project. So like I keep saying too much. So think of like a Pokédex or just an encyclopedia that just has all the monsters and creatures and stuff that I have in store for the Tommen project, I'll call it. Uh, I feel a lot better doing this rather than just focusing on. I keep doing that too much. I feel like working on this more rather than just the card game due to the fact that one, I don't have a way to test the card game when I do get it complete. So I'll have to like think twice as hard on what I'm trying to commit to the game. And secondly, because I was trying to keep certain creatures from being shown off before I actually do them, it was restricting me. So like this angel kind of character, I was waiting to do that until I got like deep enough into the game. But since that's not gonna happen for a while, I just said, you know what, forget it. I'll go with whatever I'm thinking about. It'll make me less stressed about having to tiptoe around whatever. So that's what this is. This is God, is what kind of angel is this? There's a word for it. Is it an archangel? An archangel, a war angel? It's an angel of war. I don't remember the name exactly, but that's what it is. It's an angel of war, and there's actually a lot of lore behind angels and demon type characters and how they interacted with human beings and stuff. And that's stuff that I want to do and explain. Like maybe no, that's something I want to explain next month. I'm going to spend this entire month just messing around and figuring out what I'm trying to write and what I'm trying to do, and figuring out the direction I want to take for this. Um, I'm getting distracted by my own video. Uh, Speaking of stories and whatnot, I do want to also talk about the stories that were. Excuse me. So there was a couple of stories inspired by the creatures, by the Tommen Project, and then as well as I kept rewriting the stories themselves inspired a redefining of the card game. So I've got two separate stories. One is adventure based. It's a lot like Pokemon, Digimon, people in a world of fantastical creatures, and they use them, battle, train, go on adventures. But they also do missions and whatnot to keep the world in balance from all kinds of over creatures overrunning the place, putting in too much energy, putting the place out of whack. So there's that. And I could go into deeper detail about the story, but that would take way too long. That would be its own video, which it will be. And then the second story was more focused on the card game itself. And basically, if you've read any kind of card game based manga, which I think, I'm pretty sure Duel Masters has a manga. I know for a fact Yu-Gi-Oh has several, and there's I think there's Duel Monsters, and then Duel Monsters R or something like that, and then there's the manga counterparts of all the anime except for which anime didn't get a manga? I stopped watching after 5Ds. I know 5Ds has a manga. I think it was V Rain. Yeah, I think they skipped V Rains and just went straight to the reboot. Uh, the the reboot, the reboot. I guess it's technically a reboot. It rebooted the card game itself. Well, it put an extension. It put a separate extension on the card game, which became its own thing. It, well, basically, if you, I'm throwing myself off. So basically, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of manga to read. If you want to make like a manga based off of like a card game, you want to see how to do it like somewhat correctly. They give you like a way to look at it. Um, and again, that's a story I want to explain in its own video. I don't have to draw the characters. I already have images of these characters, but I just want to redraw them, have videos of me drawing them, so that there's something there to actually look at while I explain this stuff. What else do I want to talk about? So there's the encyclopedia. There are the 2 stories. There's the card game, which I'm gonna put a slowdown on. I'm not gonna stop doing it. I'm just gonna create as many of the creatures as possible while I'm doing this encyclopedia project. Then install those images into cards and whatnot, and then there's that. I am working on the card game mechanics. That's still a thing because I'm thinking of a lot of stuff that could be put into it. Bit by bit. I'm not sure how often it would change. Like maybe once every once every 6. I would either change it once every 6 months or once a year if I start doing this, and if it's successful enough. Like if it can last a year, then yeah, I'll change the quote unquote meta of the game system. So is there anything else that I need to talk about? What else do I have in here? 6, 8, 9, 10. I got another 4 minutes, and I'm not where I want to be in the video to talk about it yet. But when I did get the tablet, when I did get the tablet back last night, I finally got it working. I started messing around with some of the stuff that was on here. I started cleaning it out so that I could do stuff like this and have room for it, because it surprisingly lacks the room I want to have to do this stuff. My phone has a lot more internal memory than this thing, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But this thing has more accessible apps than the phone does. Now I'm remembering why I don't use some of these recording apps. Is because the phone itself, you have to pay for them, while on a tablet it's free. I don't understand that. But okay, so right here, okay, so we're almost there. Right here, I decided to do some kind of like 2-legged beast kind of character. I went for a mermaid, not a mermaid, like a kind of merman beast shark thing. So it's like a land shark that actually, walks on land, swims in water. It's very powerful. And I wanted to kind of like really branch out and make some, incredible designs. Looking at it now, as I'm talking over the recording, I can see like where I could have made this a little different. So I might redesign it. I don't know, or I just might make another one, separate design for the archetype, whatever. But yeah, I'm doubling down on. Oh, excuse me. I'm doubling down on focusing on creature design and whatnot. I'm really focusing on doing lore and writing stories and stuff to talk about, because just focusing on the card game, it leaves me very constricted. I don't have a lot I can do until it's like actually produced and I have someone to actually show it off with. And then all of you, anyone who's listening, if you want to play the game yourselves, when it does become available, then you can play it yourselves and then tell me about it, and then we'll have something to really talk about. But until then, yeah, the card game project isn't really the best focus in mind right now. Although I will still talk about it. I will still do that because there's a lot to it, and I want to make sure that it's digestible and comparable, or digestible and compatible. Now there was another thing I was focusing on in here that's going to be in the video. I started doing a little bit of animation doodles. They're not that great, but I just started messing around because I did used to do it at one time, but then I fell off of it, and then I got back into it as soon as my tablet got back on. I just decided to do like a little bouncing ball or something. Then that bouncing ball turned over into me doing a very bad redraw of a One Punch Man scene where he like punches like this super being from like the ultimate being he fought or whatever, who wasn't as ultimate as he thought he was. So I thought that was a little fun, and it might be. All right, for some reason my oh, there's the third bus. Okay, so for some reason my recorder decided to cut me off before I could finish my sentences. Um, so to recap, oh God, I don't even know what I was missing saying. I talked for like an extra 2 minutes, extra two, three, like an extra 2 to 5 minutes. Basically, for a quick recap of everything I just said, even if it wasn't on here. I want to get more into gameplay, mobile gameplay. Uh, I've got 2 story ideas I want to do based on the Tommen project, which doesn't include the encyclopedia that I'm going to do. The encyclopedia will help me create as many monsters as I can, and then those designs can go into the card game when I figure out a better way to display them or show them off or use them. Because looking at it from a functional standpoint, the card game is the least, since I can't really play anyone with it, and I don't have the money to pay anyone to test play them, nor do I have the money to even buy them if they were to be uploaded. So there's that, and I'm not going to put up a project that I haven't tested myself, and then someone buys it and then they don't like it because it's just not complete. That would be a death sentence, and nobody would buy the game. But yeah, that's my quick little recap of what happened. Why my tablet crashed. Yeah, why my tablet app recorder crashed. Uh, Man, they're still arguing out there, kind of. Um, I'm gonna include more doodles, so like little. They're realistically they're probably only gonna be like 1 second or 2 seconds or something like that because I've done a lot, and then they only add up to like a second or so. But I want to get into that too. Other than that, that's all I have for now. There is something I want to do, and I will show. I will try to show it not Friday. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Okay, so maybe tomorrow if I have the chance. Uh, yeah, I won't talk about it. I'll just if I do it, I'll do it. If I don't, then at least I won't say I did and then lie about it. But yeah, that's it for now. I will see you tomorrow with hopefully some kind of video for some kind of idea somehow. So yeah, see you in the next one. Why am I waving? You can't see me.